How many of you have been in a situation where you get an idea from somebody and that somebody is hot on this idea, it's the greatest thing on the planet Earth. So you buy it, you do the research, and then 2 months later, you realize they're not into this idea anymore, they sold out, and they're on to something else. Another fantastic thing. How many of you? In today's video, I'm going to talk about the difference between buying a stock and buying a thesis. If you're new to this channel, my name is Mariusz Konieczny. I run Microcap Explosions, a website dedicated for microcap stocks, which are hated and ignored by the investment community. I also wrote 10 books on investing, one of which is available for a free download at microcapexplosions.com. So make sure you get yourself a copy. I cannot tell you how many times over my 15 or 20 years in investing, I have been in a situation where somebody tells me about an idea, okay? They're so hot on this idea. It's the best thing on the planet Earth, okay? It's super fantastic, you gotta buy it. You go ahead and you do some research, you buy it, you hold it for a month or two, and then you learn that this person is completely out of this idea, it's not hot anymore, they sold for, whatever reason, tiny reason, they didn't like something, they sold, and now they are onto something new. You see, this is what happens in the today's social media space all the time. And I have been burned so many times over the years through following people. And now, because of that, literally, when somebody tells me about an idea, I immediately go like this. I don't want to hear it. And that's because there's a difference between investing in a stock or a company that's underlying that stock, or investing in an investment thesis, okay? And there's nothing wrong with one versus the other. But what is wrong is when you think you are investing in a stock, you think you are investing in a company, but you're just a tourist and you're really investing in an investment thesis. So what do I mean by this? Every idea that you invest in, every company that you invest in, you should have a reason why you invest in it. That's called an investment thesis. So an investment thesis might be, oh, this company has this product, the revenues are at this level, the profits are at this level. If they do, X, Y, and Z, the profits are gonna go up, 5-fold. And as a result of this, the value of the company is gonna be 10X or whatever, and it will take 2 to 3 years to do it, and they have the management in place, all the tools in place. If you just wait 3 to 5 years, it's gonna happen. That's a thesis, right? And what I've noticed over the years, that I would say most people are just investing in the thesis. So they read the thesis, they get excited, they tell all their friends, they get excited, and the stock might go up, okay? The stock might go up, and then they get bored. Or the stock goes down, and then they start blaming the management for not executing, right? As if they would execute. If they could run the company, they could of course execute. They can't even hold the stock for 6 months, but they would definitely execute if they were the CEO. Then they switch, and then they find another thesis, they get people excited, and da-da-da-da-da. And then the process goes the same. And in reality, if you look at a lot of these people's track record, they cannot hold to a position for more than a few months. And so if they cannot hold something for more than a few months, they don't have a business really talking about, oh, it's going to take 3 to 5 years. But you see, that's the thing, is that they are just selling the thesis. That's all they're doing, is investing in a thesis. Some people get excited, then they get bored, and then they move on to another thesis. If you know that that's the kind of person you are, then that's okay. That's when you use technical analysis. That's when it's useful to have all kinds of stop losses. That's when it's useful to, instead of paying attention to the actual companies, because who cares about what the actual companies are doing, pay attention to the reaction from people and how many people are following it, how many people are interested in it. You are paying attention to the actual market, which is the people, hedge funds, whatever. That's when technical analysis is useful. The problem comes is that when you are the kind of person that you like to invest in real businesses, you have the patience to wait years for the thesis to develop, but you hear the idea from investment tourists. You see, that could be dangerous because if you invest at the same time that a bunch of tourists invest for the thesis, and you invest at the same time, you know that in 2 to 3 months, they're going to be gone. For whatever reason, they'll find a reason to leave. They'll get bored, things are not happening fast enough, the guidance was missed, or the CEO said something inappropriate. They'll find a reason to exit, okay? And now you are going to be stuck holding the bag because when they exit, the stock might crash, okay? And you're going to end up looking like a fool because now you're down 30, 50%, and you're not wrong on the thesis, assuming, the thesis plays out. You're not wrong on the thesis, but you're down a lot. And that's only simply because you invested along the people that are in it just for a short period of time, that are in it just for the thesis. And I guarantee you, after they move on from your thesis, they're going to be on to another thesis, saying all good things, pumping, hyping, and then they just jump around. So how do you deal with the situation? I would say that the best way is to, like, when somebody is talking about an idea over and over and over, just ignore it. Like, seriously, just ignore it, wait for it to crash, and then you're not going to hear this anymore. Just wait for it to crash and then enter the situation when the tourists are gone. That's really what I've trained myself over the years. I don't go on Twitter, I don't go on YouTube for investment ideas. I want to go out and find them on my own when the tourists are not in it yet. And that way, the probability of getting good pricing is much higher than when I'm investing along with the tourists. I know it's hard to do, especially when there's so much noise around so many different ideas. But the problem is that when you have a company that is, doing something, there's a lot of IR happening behind the scenes that you don't know about. And then the IR people reach out to various influencers that they have a relationship, and that's how those ideas get populated. Oh, hey, look at this company. This guy looks at this company, tells his friends to look at this company, and then the next thing you know, it's 1,000 people looking at this company, getting excited all at the same time, and then you hear about it. And by the time you hear about it, the stock is already up 100%, 70%, whatever, and then you're overpaying for it because you were the last one that heard about it. And then they might already be in this idea for a month, and then you only have like 2 to 6 months left because they leave, and then they get another idea, and again, just like I said before, you're stuck holding the bag. And then, yeah, you hold it for those years, but if you just waited a little bit later after the tourists left, you would have gotten a better entry point. And I know you've experienced this before, because I have so many times you have no idea. It takes discipline to sit out through an investment thesis. It takes years. Look at the situation with Oracle, how long some of us have been in this company. Since 2017. I have been in it since 2017. So that's 5 years now. And 5 years of constant temptation to sell it, to put it into different ideas. I have more ideas that I want to invest in than I have money. But it takes discipline to sit on them and hold the positions because, again, it takes years for these ideas to play out. And if I can't sit out through these years, what's the point in doing it? Then I might as well just invest in what's popular and use technical analysis and forget the fundamentals. It's pointless. But if you truly want to, invest the intelligent way through a fundamental way, you got to just avoid those temptations. It's actually funny because the other day I needed to log into my account, and I kid you not, I forgot my password to my brokerage account. Like, it took me like 10 minutes to find it because I don't remember the last time I made a trade. It's been like 7 months or something. But try to develop that skill to just sit tight, let your ideas play out, and then you will get your chance to lighten up. You will get your chance to sell and redeploy your ideas. Believe me, there's always another hot idea around the corner. Always. There's always another 10 bagger. Finding the next 10 bagger is not the hard part. Sitting and actually getting the 10 bagger on your money, that's the hard part. So I hope this video was helpful. Know the difference between investing in a stock or a company versus investing in a thesis or story. Thanks for watching.